Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you for joining us for another ARCS broadcast. Tonight's action will be Bristol. Just to touch base on the track, we do expect that the high line will be the fast line tonight. It seems like going out for qualifying and practice, the preferred line of a lot of these drivers has been that high line. We expect the early line will be used early. However, we expect the high line to come in late. Tires may or may not play a role in tonight's race, and pit strategy will be huge as usual here. Let me just adjust the old camera settings here. Like last broadcast, we're having some technical difficulties with the camera selector again, so bear with us tonight. Tonight's race will be 217 laps. They will each have 2 fast repairs. We expect there to be some solid passing on this short track here, and we expect typical Bristol behavior. Some rubbing is racing action. And as for that, we will have to see if defending truck champion Nicholas Pressey will have a better week this week. As qualifying is beginning to wrap up now, we will get a better picture of what the lap times will be and what we can expect. As of this moment, Doc does sit on the pole. However, we have 6 more minutes of qualifying. Doc was last week's race winner, capturing his first ever ARCS victory. However, it is defending truck points champion Nicholas Pressey that walked away with the points lead after last week's race. Kobe Roberts is going to have second place in points, and third place will be Brian Messer. Just 5 points separate the 3 headed into this week. Season 1 champion Ryan Pinnell will come out of week 1, or Cody Pinnell, I apologize, will come out of week 1 sitting 14th after having connection issues last week. So some developing storylines very early on in this season, as it really could be anybody's championship this year. Let's just go ahead and pop in and see if we can see who has yet to qualify. Looks like we're waiting for 4 drivers: Nicholas Pressey, David Hawk, Patrick Allen Jr., and Jonathan Honeybrink. They do have 4 more minutes to set a qualifying lap. It will be interesting to see how track position versus tires plays out in this race, whether drivers feel that the fresher tires will be of the utmost importance, or if track position will play the biggest role in tonight's race. And as usual, we will be taking viewer questions tonight. So if you have a question, please do not hesitate but to put it in the chat, and I will get the drivers to answer it then. Does look like we will have 17 cars for tonight's action, as Jonathan Honeybrink has just went out and set his lap. With just 2 minutes left, we will have to see how the rest of the field shakes out, as Jonathan Honeybrink falls into that 7th spot for his qualifying time. Let's just go ahead and check in with 1:30, see who has yet to qualify. Looks like we are waiting on 3 people. Well, 2 of them disconnected. Nicholas Pressey is currently disconnected, and Patrick Allen Jr. is disconnected, so we will have to see if they join back in time for tonight's race. If they do not join back in, we will only have 14 cars for tonight's race. And that would be a serious blow to defending truck champion Nicholas Pressey if he is unable to get back into tonight's race. As qualifying is wrapping up, the field will be locked in. So starting on the pole for tonight's race is Mr. Doc, and he will be in that 51 car. Let's see if we can, or the 51 truck, I apologize, which is a beautiful mint green. Absolutely love the look of that truck. Tracy Pennell will be in the 17, starting second. In third will be Riley Dunn in the 72. Although it looks a lot like 77 on the truck. The 15 of Samuel Roberts will be to his outside. In fifth place, we will have the 28 of Cody Pennell, and to his outside will be the 22 of Kobe Roberts. Jonathan Honeybrink will be starting 7th in the row behind him with the 52 of Peyton Howard, although that truck certainly looks like it has a 6 on it. So, or no, there's the 52. In 9th will be DP in the 4 in the row behind them. And Tommy Withers in the 6 will be to his outside. In the 11th spot will be Tristan Catania in that 48 with the 54 of SK Stephen Downton to his outside in 12th. In 13th will be the 44 of Joshua Garrison, and to his outside will be the 10 of Daniel Maddox. Nicholas Pressey will indeed make the race and will start 15th.
Green, green, green.
As the green flag flies, and bear with me as I get this camera going, because unfortunately, well, we already have an early caution. Let's go ahead and see what that was for. As the 77, it looked like, got into the 15, we'll rewind it and give you a better view here as they went 3 wide. And yep, unfortunately no place to go, and the 15 gets turned around. So a tough start to his night. We unfortunately did not even make it a corner there, so we'll have to see if this is a single file restart, or if they will line them up 2 by 2 again. It does look like those front 2 managed to maintain their positions on the start of this race, but the 28 of Cody Pennell has now moved his way up into 3rd. And we will indeed only have 14 cars for tonight's race. So just a quick rundown of the top 5, however brief that was. The front 2 are unchanged. 3rd is Cody Pennell, 4th is Kobe Roberts, and 5th is Peyton Howard. We should be getting the 1 lap to green signal. Indeed we are. So they will line them up 2 by 2 again, as your leader, Doc, brings them to the backstretch and into 3 and 4 to get ready to restart this race. The pace car is in. Doc will get it restarted. And it looked like he might have spun the tires a little bit, which is going to allow Tracy Pennell to get a run on the outside of him. He very well may lose another position, as Jacoby Roberts in the 22 was looking to challenge there. We'll have to see when the caution came out. But it certainly looked from up here that the leader lost 2 positions on that restart. Not entirely sure what was going on in his head there. Well, as it turns out, he actually may be ahead of him. Interesting that iRacing put the 51 of Doc into second there. Or no, I apologize, he is in third. So he'll restart on the inside. Hopefully he doesn't spin his tires again, as Tracy Pennell will be the race leader for the first time tonight. 9 of these 217 laps are in the book already. Tommy Withers in the 6 car has moved up 4 positions since the start of the race and is currently in that 6th position. Hopefully he can continue his strong run to the front. Samuel Roberts, who was involved in that lap 1 wreck, has picked up 3 positions and finds himself in the 10th spot. So he may be able to climb his way back up to the front. We do get the 1 lap to green signal, and they will line them up 2 by 2. As Tracy Pennell will lead them to the restart zone. The pace truck is in, and Tracy Pennell gets a phenomenal restart, as the top 4 remains largely unchanged. Back here in this pack of cars, the 4 of DP is hung out high right now and looking to gain on the car in front of him and pull away from the car behind him, as Samuel Roberts is going to try to challenge that 20 car of Jonathan Honeybrink, but unfortunately it's going to allow the 77 to get underneath him. That 77 is marked the 72 on the leaderboard. That's Riley Dunn. As more action up here at the front, as Doc takes over that 3rd position. Or I apologize, the leader was just so far out it looked like he had the 3rd position. But he is under some serious duress from Peyton Howard in that 52 car. As you already see, some drivers have discovered the high line is their favorite line, while others are trying to cling to that bottom desperately. Tracy Pennell has extended his lead by about 4 cars now. This seems to be where the real action is behind him, though, as the 51 of Doc is continuing to fend off this onslaught from Peyton Howard. Creeping into the picture is the 6 of Tommy Withers now, as Doc is indeed going to give up the inside to the 52 of Peyton Howard, but is going to use that high line to battle back. The 54 of SK is down pit road, so unfortunate for him. The 20 of Jonathan Honeybrink continues to fall back through the pack as we have another caution flag. Let's see if we can figure out where that happened. It does look like it involves Doc, unfortunately. So it looks like Doc is trying to hug that low line, and unfortunately the truck in front of him goes up and clips the wall, and there's nowhere for him to go, and he ends up wrecking. So a very unfortunate set of circumstances for Doc, as the 28 comes around and hits him at nearly full speed, so that's going to be very tough for the 28. Such an unfortunate set of circumstances for Doc after last week managing to win the race. Several cars down pit road, but the 52 of Peyton Howard is choosing to have that track position over the fresh tires. So an interesting decision by him already. The 4 of DP also stayed out, and the 77 of Riley Dunn also stayed out. Daniel Maddox and Tristan Catania will be rounding out your top 5, with leader Tracy Pinnell choosing to pit and will be restarting in the 7th position. So an unfortunate set of circumstances for him. The chat is awful quiet tonight. Any comments on the race so far, folks?
Hang on, we're not going green, not going green.
So as we are touching base with this group of cars here who are making contact quite frequently, just a reminder, this is going to be a short track kind of night with lots of cars making contact even if they don't mean to necessarily. It's just the nature of Bristol. It does look like the 54 of SK has retired for the night. Doc is back on the track, 6 laps down, so he's going to have his work cut out for him if he wants to get back on the lead lap tonight, as he is trying now to pass the 15 of Samuel Roberts. Back up at the front of the field, the 52 of Peyton Howard has a ginormous lead on the 77 of Riley Dunn. Just to give you guys a comparison here, this is the gap, as the 17 of Tracy Pinnell is digging hard to try and get his lap back and stay at the front of those lead lap cars, or of those one lap cars. The 44 of Joshua Garrison is having himself a solid run tonight, as the 28 of Cody Pinnell is looking to also try to get to the front of those lap down cars, but he has very close to a quarter of a track to go to the 17 of Tracy Pinnell. So we'll have to keep an eye on that as the night progresses. The 10 of Daniel Maddox is severely off the pace right now, falling 8 seconds behind our leader, almost 9 seconds behind our leader, but still remaining in that top 6 due to lap traffic. As Doc is continuing to dig for every little bit of speedway he can to try and get around the 48 of Tristan Catania, and he will, just as the caution comes out. Let's go ahead and see if we can figure out where that went wrong. We will speed it up here to see if we can figure out who it was that wrecked, as I'm not seeing anybody in this group of cars.
Hey, Tyler.
Hey, what's up, SK?
Sorry to bug you for your broadcast. I didn't tell you. That was our stage end. We're ending the stage at 43, and then our next stage will end at lap 88.
Sounds good. Yeah, I was wondering what was going on there. So there you have it, folks. That's our stage break.
All right, well, good luck. Hi, fans. I'm going to go back to race controlling for a little bit, then I'll get back on the track.
Sounds good. Catch you later, SK. So there you have it. Race control letting us know that that was the stage break. Luckily, he let me know that before I was looking for a phantom crash that never happened. As Peyton Howard, who was the race leader, let's see if we can go back and take a look at his pit stop to determine what happened and why he lost so much position. So the old he pits and everybody behind him stays out. That's going to be unfortunate for him, as he's going to shuffle back potentially. We'll have to see exactly how far back that shuffles him, as there are still a few lap cars in front of him. We will get the 1 lap to green, which means several cars will receive the wave around. That we're a lap down and we're in front of those lead lap cars.
Hang on, we're not going green.
We're not going green yet. As race control is going to give them time to group these cars back up. A quick rundown of the top 5. Peyton Howard in that 52 is out front, with the 4 of DP to his outside. Behind him will be the 77 of Riley Dunn. The 44 of Joshua Garrison will restart 4th, and Tristan Catania will restart 5th. The pace car will pull in. The green flag will fly, and Peyton Howard will get a fabulous restart there. The 77 is also going to get a great restart and take 2nd away from DP. The 15 of Samuel Roberts is a lap car, so we'll have to keep an eye on him and see if he can battle back and get his lap back here. Lots of action in this back group of cars here. It's the 6 of Tommy Withers.
Caution, yellow flag.
As we have another caution. This time, that's going to be unfortunate, as the 10 car is just going to hit the wall, lose control, slide to the inside, and collect the 48 of Tristan Catania. So that's going to be unfortunate for Tristan. He was having a solid run up to that point. So you hate to see that. Let's see if we can get our camera view back. As the 52 of Peyton Howard is going to remain in the lead. As you just saw there, the 15 car will receive the lucky dog, the wave around. So he will be back on the lead lap, which spells trouble for the rest of the field, as he is quite fast in that camoed out 15. The 51 of Doc will, or no, he still will not be at the front of these lead lap cars, as Jonathan Honeybrink will be. Kobe Roberts will be right behind him for the lap cars, as those other two, Tristan Catania and Daniel Maddox, who were involved in that wreck, are down pit road repairing damages. If you guys are wondering why I have not brought a driver in yet, I am just waiting for the perfect moment here. With this track being so short, you don't want to bring a driver in and then have the green flag fly while you're trying to interview them. But if I begin to see a pattern with them extending these caution laps, that will provide the adequate time to bring somebody in. And based on who the current top 4 is, it could be a new face in the booth. So we'll have to keep an eye out on that. Now remember that 17 of Tracy Pinnell, who was involved in an earlier wreck, is back on the lead lap now. So look for him to be trying to make a move towards the front. As they get the 1 lap to green, they will line them up 2 by 2. And we will get this race restarted again, or perhaps it'll be a single file restart. It will indeed be a single file restart as the pace car pulls off. Peyton Howard will put the pedal to the floor, headed into 1 and 2, as that 44 car washes up the track of Joshua Garrison and is being challenged by Tracy Pinnell in the 17. Neither driver is willing to give an inch, as Tracy will indeed clear that 44 car of Joshua Garrison for that 4th place. Back here, the 20 of Jonathan Honeybrink will indeed fall behind the 22 of Kobe Roberts. And so Kobe would be currently in position for the Lucky Dog Award should a caution come out. We are 61 laps through this 217 lap race. Lots of action still to come. The 6 of Tommy Withers in the 6th place is going to try to challenge that 44 car of Joshua Garrison. Or, no, he's not. I apologize. It's a lap car in front of him. But if he can clear that lap car and manage to get to the back of the 44, which clearing lap traffic has been a real struggle in tonight's race. Not much room to pass on either lane. Back here in this group of cars, Doc and the 15 of Samuel Roberts are currently trying to work their way up through the field. Just a reminder, Doc is 5 laps down, so he has his work cut out for him. The 2 cars behind Doc that are several laps down are Daniel Maddox and Tristan Catania, who were involved in that last wreck. Tough breaks for them. Up at the front of the field, Peyton Howard is continuing to lead as the 48 of Tristan Catania is going to go another lap down. The 17 of Tracy Pinnell finds his way into the 2nd place slot. That car is lightning fast. We'll have to see if he can run the leader down. Just popping around the track, seeing if we can see any little battles going on. As Doc is currently trying to work his way around the 22 of Kobe Roberts, who is only one lap down. And will indeed find his way around Kobe Roberts. Some of these guys that are several laps down are praying we receive more cautions, so that way they might get their laps back. As Jonathan Honeybrink has fallen another lap down. Doc is going to go to work on trying to pass this 15 car who is on the lead lap. Up at the front, the gap is pretty much staying the same as Tracy Pinnell is trying to figure out a way to gain more speed on the track to run this 52 of Peyton Howard down. That's the gap between first and second right now. The gap between second and third has also increased by about 2.5 seconds, as DP is starting to slowly run that 77 of Riley Dunn down. Tommy Withers in the 6th has broken into the top 5 for the first time tonight. And he has that 44 car of Joshua Garrison right behind him. Back up at the front, that gap is being maintained by the 52 of Peyton Howard. As the 6 of Tommy Withers is going to find his way around the 77 of Riley Dunn. And the 4 of DP is going to look to the inside of that 77 car of Riley Dunn, but is not going to be able to get the job done. So Tommy Withers into the top 3 for the first time tonight. Is really pushing that 77 hard to try and take that position, but the bottom just has no drive off. As we have another caution. This is the end of the stage, so Peyton Howard will collect the stage win with Tracy Pinnell and Tommy Withers respectively in second and third. So the man of the hour is Peyton Howard. Let's see if we can have a word with him. Peyton, Tyler up in the booth. You got me?
Yeah, hello?
Hey, Peyton, it's Tyler up in the booth. So,
What's up?
congratulations on winning that second stage there. How does it
Thank you.
feel to be out in front of this pack right now?
What were you saying? I couldn't hear you over someone else talking.
How does it feel to be at the front of this pack right now?
Just need to keep going.
Do you think that the 17 of Tracy Pinnell will have anything for you on this restart?
Probably. We'll just have to wait and see.
All right, brother. Well, we appreciate your time. We'll get you moved back into the chat then.
Alright, see ya.
So that was Peyton Howard, who collected the Stage 2 win. A new face around here at ARCS. As pit stops go underway, we had a couple people miss their pit stop by a brief margin. We'll have to see if that affects the running order. As it looks like the 52 is going to remain out front. So Kobe Roberts in that 22 is who received the Lucky Dog Award and will get his lap back. As we now have 8 cars on the lead lap, with the first lap car down being Jonathan Honeybrink. So him and Cody Pinnell will be set to battle it out for a potential lucky dog should Honeybrink go a lap down again. We have been given the 1 lap to green signal. As a few cars stayed out, we do have a new leader taking over this race. It's Tommy Withers in the 6. Riley Dunn in the 77 will be to his outside, with Samuel Roberts restarting 3rd and DP restarting 4th. In 5th will be Joshua Garrison, and 6th
Green flag.
will be Peyton Howard, as the green flag is back out. Up here at the front of the field, the top 4 are going to remain the top 4. As the 6 of Tommy Withers will try to weather the storm that is Riley Dunn right behind him. You know, Riley is definitely anxious to try to touch that lead for the first time tonight. So he will be driving that car hard.
Flag is out.
As we have another caution. As Doc and the 20 of Jonathan Honeybrink are going to make contact. I'm kind of surprised that such light contact brought out a caution. That is what brought out the caution, the 48 of Tristan Catania. And we'll have to see who that was that got into him. The 22 of Kobe Roberts, so no surprise there. Kobe was involved in several accidents last week, so not too surprised to see his name come across, as somebody else has fallen victim to the front of that car. Really unfortunate for Tristan Catania, who's going to end up even more laps down. The 51 of Doc is still on pit road getting damages fixed, so he will unfortunately lose some more laps. As your race leader continues to lead the race. That top four has remained largely untouched since that restart. We are 100 laps through this 217 lap race tonight. So we will be approaching halfway in about 8.5 laps here. So you viewers that are watching, who is your pick to take it home tonight? Could it potentially be that 6 of Tommy Withers, the 17 of Tracy Pennell back there in 17th, or the Stage 2 winner of Peyton Howard? Go ahead and put your vote in the chat, and we shall see who is right. As the 1 lap to green has been given.
Green flag.
The green flag will fly as Tommy Withers puts the hammer down and heads out of turn 1 and 2, down the back stretch and on to 3 and 4. The 17 of Tracy Pennell is going to begin to work on this 52 of Peyton Howard, with the 44 of Joshua Garrison just in front of them. As the 20 of Jonathan Honeybrink will find his way back out onto the track. We do have our first retired car of the evening in Cody Pennell, discluding race control in SK, of course. As the top four is beginning to space themselves out, the battle for 5th is just heating up, 5th and 6th, I should say. As Tracy Pennell in the 17 is going to try to tuck it under Peyton Howard, and he will move up into that 6th position. and we'll begin to work on the 44 of Joshua Garrison for that 5th spot. We'll have to see if he has enough speed to get around that 44, who has had amazing drive off the corner. As the 17 and the 44 make contact, sending both vehicles around. Let's see if we can take a quick look at how that developed. As the 17 gets a run off and ends up running into the back of the 44 of Joshua Garrison, so tough break for Joshua there as another car leaves the front of Tracy Pinnell. Multiple cars will come down pit road. Just unfortunate. Let's see if we can get you guys a better angle here. As the 52 of Peyton Howard did stay out and will take control of the race lead again. Does appear that we will end up with 7 cars on the lead lap when this is all cycled through. So your top 5 has been shaken up a little bit. We do get the 1 lap to green signal. As the pace truck will pull in, Peyton Howard will put the hammer down and will lead them down the front stretch into turn 1 and 2. Followed in tow by Tommy Withers in the 6 and the 77 of Riley Dunn. Riley is going to go to work on that 6 truck of Tommy Withers and potentially try to make a move right here, and will clear the 6 for 2nd place. As the 15 will now go to work on the 6 of Tommy Withers, but we'll have the 22 of Kobe Roberts to his inside. And Kobe will not be able to clear him coming out of the corner. As has been the case all race, that high outside line has been fast. As the 77 of Riley Dunn is trying desperately to hold. Well, that must be a lap car that has put himself between him and Tommy. Oh no, that was for the lead. So Riley Dunn has actually taken over the lead here as scoring catches up and has pulled out to a massive lead of about 4 cars now. Tommy Withers is going to be looking to see if he can get around the 52 of Peyton Howard. Here at the back of the lead lap cars, Joshua Garrison has the 48 of Tristan Catania, who is 7 laps down behind him. As the 15 is continuing to be under fire from the 22 of Kobe Roberts. DP in the 6th spot is looking to see which line will prevail as the 15 clips the wall and ultimately does concede that position to the 22 of Kobe Roberts. You could throw a blanket over these 5 cars here, which are 2nd through 6th. As Riley Dunn continues to check out on this field. Nobody is even close to him anymore. So he can start to breathe easy as contact is made and everybody manages to keep it straight. Let's see if we can rewind that for a brief second. Looks like the 22 just comes up into the 52 a little bit. Off the corner. And yeah, that is unfortunate for the 52 of Peyton Howard, who was having a pretty outstanding run to that point. Let's get our camera back up here. As the 22 of Kobe Roberts has managed to climb his way into that 3rd position. The 6th of Tommy Withers has a comfortable 2nd place margin after that scuffle. The 15 of Samuel Roberts is going to come under fire from DP, with the 44 of Joshua Garrison right behind him, putting him under fire. As just 79 laps remain in this race, things will begin to get tight.
The yellow flag is out.
As the yellow flag comes out, hits the 52, who has the 10 unfortunately come down the track and get into him after hitting the wall. So struggles are continuing to mount for the 52 of Peyton Howard, who now finds himself 3 laps down, unfortunately. So another tough break for him. As the 77 comes down pit road, the six of Tommy Withers will take over the lead. Possibly. As he too is now headed down pit road. So we'll take over the lead briefly, but we expect after the pit cycles cycle out, Riley will remain in front, but we'll have to wait and see. We will have to see how everything shakes out here. But as of this moment, Riley Dunn is the leader with Tommy Withers in second, Joshua Garrison in third, and in fourth will be Kobe Roberts. Samuel Roberts will round out your top 5. As the lap cars that were in front will get the wave around. This race will have 1 lap to green. The pace car will pull in.
Green, green, green.
And kind of a shaky start for everybody, as nobody was particularly stacked up there. So Riley Dunn is going to start with a second advantage right away over Tommy Withers, who will have roughly a 2-car length to third, as multiple cars are stacking up now. Looks like the 22 of Kobe Roberts is involved. He gets loose off the corner and then just overdrives it. Can't manage to get it down. Comes down, hits the 20. Does the 20 collect everybody? Yes, he collects the 4, the 48, and the 10. So really unfortunate. Let's just see if we can get an in-car view. He sees the 22 and gets as low as he can and just unfortunately has nowhere to go, as well as the cars behind him have nowhere to go. So really unfortunate. As that 22 looks like it's been through war after the numerous contacts he's had with not only other cars but with the wall. That beautiful rainbow 77 will be out in front with 70 laps to go in this race. Now 69 laps to go in this race. For those of you that are Penn State fans, they did win today at Auburn, 28-20. So go Nittany Lions. That game was a heck of a game for everybody that missed it. As we get the 1 lap to green, the 77 of Riley Dunn will lead the 6 of Tommy Withers and the 44 of Joshua Garrison to the line, with 15 of Samuel Roberts and the 4 of DP in tow, respectively, in those 4 and 5 spots. There are only 5 cars currently on the lead lap. The pace car will pull in, and Riley Dunn will put the hammer down and lead them into turns 1 and 2 and down the backstretch. As just these front 5 are on the lead lap, I will try to focus the majority of this race on them in these closing laps, as just 64 laps remain in tonight's feature event. Riley Dunn is extending his lead over second and is trying to run away with this race. The 44 of Joshua Garrison is under fire from Samuel Roberts, as we have another caution, which is truly unfortunate. Let's see if we can figure out what that caution's for, as it looks like Jonathan Honeybrink is just going to get loose, and luckily is not going to collect a single car. So fortunate for everybody that they managed to make it through that. Unfortunately for Kobe, he will now find himself back on the lead lap, which is unfortunate for that top 5. With 57 laps to go here, you have to wonder if fuel is going to begin to play a part in how this race finishes out, as Kobe Roberts takes his wave around. Let's see if we can have a chat with the leader, Riley Dunn. Nope, unfortunately, we're not going to be able to. Let's see if we can bring Tommy in here really quick. Nope, it doesn't look like Tommy's in the chat either. Huh, unfortunate. We have just 55 laps to go in this feature event. We'll have to see if these 55 remaining laps are caution filled or if we will have a long green flag run to end the night. I'm sure there are drivers hoping for one or the other, and it's a mix throughout the field at this point. I do apologize to the viewers that are watching for having a caution-filled event tonight. Bristol does tend to breed cautions. So Riley Dunn, your current race leader, will lead them back to the front stretch as the pace truck will pull off.
Green flag,
The green flag will fly. That top 4 will remain unchanged. As the 22 of Kobe Roberts finds himself at the very back of this field trying to work his way up. Jonathan Honeybrink trying to find his way down the pit road and look back out onto the track, it looks like. As Riley Dunn is continuing his dominance. The 44 of Joshua Garrison is being challenged by the 15 of Samuel Roberts, who will look to clear him in this corner and will unfortunately not be able to, as just in front of him is the 6. He does clear the 44 that time. will now begin to work on this 6 car of Tommy Withers. Remember, Samuel Roberts was involved in that first crash, as he does in fact manage to find his way around Tommy for 2nd place. So after being involved in the opening caution, he has found his way back up to the front. The 44 is now under fire from DP in the 4, as DP will clear him off of the corner as well, so his struggles are continuing. Up at the front of the field, the 77 continues to lead the 15 of Samuel Roberts by about half a track now. Samuel will not give up and is digging deep, though, as he continues to play chase to the 77. The 6 of Tommy Withers is now under fire from the 4 of DP. Now the 44 will try to clear the 6 as contact is made. But the 44 will indeed clear the 6 of Tommy Withers. As back up at the front, we have still a massive lead between 1st and 2nd, and only growing bigger at this point. The 4 of DP is almost equal distance behind the 2nd place car of Samuel Roberts, as Samuel is behind the 1st place car of Riley Dunn. The 6 of Kobe Roberts is finding his way through this lap traffic now as well. It is the last car on the lead lap. Battling Doc, who has had an unfortunate night, finds himself 47 laps down. As the leader is beginning to close in on these cars, you have to think Kobe is worried about going a lap down, as is Tommy Withers in that 6 car. We'll have to see if the 77 of Riley Dunn hitting lap cars will slow him down enough to allow Samuel Roberts to catch him. As the 77 finds his way around the 10 of Daniel Maddox cleanly. He's coming up on a big group of 5 here, and it will be interesting to see if this slows him down and is the door that Mr. Samuel Roberts needs to go up and challenge for this lead. as we do have another yellow flag. We will have to see where this initially started. So it looks like, well, I'm not too sure what happened. Let's see if we can get a far chase. Huh. So unfortunately, it looks like he's going to be the victim of a bug because Kobe did not make contact with him there. So very unfortunate for the 6 and the guys that he did collect in that, which didn't appear to be anybody on the lead lap, but that was. Yeah, let's take a look at this from your leader's perspective. As things are going to get tight really quick, he's already slowing down. He's going to run right into the back of the 44, unfortunately. So we'll have to see if that damage will affect his car or not as everybody on the lead lap comes down pit road. We will keep an eye on this as Samuel Roberts has found his way off of pit road before Riley Dunn, so that could be a very unfortunate set of circumstances for one Riley Dunn. So Riley Dunn, unfortunately, is going to lose a lap in all of that, which is effectively going to kill his night if we don't see another caution. Samuel Roberts in the 15 will find his way, or find that he is in first place after that caution. So good news for him. Kobe Roberts in the 22 has found his way into the 4th place position and has the 44 of Joshua Garrison just in front of him. DP will move up to 2nd from 3rd after that pit stop. We do get the 1 lap to green signal here. Samuel Roberts, who was involved in the very first caution of the night, has battled his way back to the front to be in the lead. We will have to see if he can hold on to it or if he will be challenged by the 4 of DP for the race lead, as Peyton Howard has retired. The green flag is out. Samuel Roberts will bring them into turn 1 and 2 and down the backstretch. Do have the 44 of Joshua Garris, who is going to fall in line behind DP, but was looking to the inside of him for a brief moment. Kobe Roberts is battling with Riley Dunn, who is praying that we can get one more caution. And if we can, he might have a chance to win this thing. Just behind him is the 6 car of Tommy Withers, who is the last car on the lead lap. Back at the front, Samuel Roberts has extended his lead over the 4 of DP now, with 16 laps to go. You can feel that the intensity of this race has been ratcheted up a bit, as Samuel is eyeing victory in 15 laps. The 4 of DP is hoping for a strong finish. CA Pinnell 28 says, "Let's go, Samuel." It's looking good for him. The 77 has Kobe Roberts just in front of him and is trying to get around him and try to battle back to get his lap back. As the 15 has just beyond extended his lead now. The 94 of Nicholas Pressey is out on the track, assumedly just to get points, as he missed the start of tonight's event, unfortunately. As the 77 is continuing to work on this lead lap car of Kobe Roberts, and Kobe is going to get loose. Might have been some slight contact by the 77 there, but everything remains green. As Samuel Roberts is 5 laps away from victory. He has battled all night to make this a reality after being involved in the very first caution of the night, where there was contact made to his left rear. As he goes across the start-finish line, 2 to go this time by. 2 laps to the victory for Samuel Roberts. As a car is sideways and we're gonna get a caution. So this is gonna make things extremely interesting now, as the field will group up one more time. We'll have to see if race control makes this a double file restart and really makes things interesting. Just to review what happened. too sure. It very well could have been... No, it wasn't that. Not too sure why we have a caution, although the 22 of Kobe Roberts does find himself a lap down now, so it's possible that it involved him. The 15 of Samuel Roberts is going to have a green-white checkered finish and see if he can hold the field off one more time on a restart and can find his way into victory lane. That will put the 77 of Riley Dunn back on the lead lap, so we'll have to see what happens here on this restart. If Riley can get a good restart and possibly challenge for this lead. The 1 lap to green signal has been given, as Samuel Roberts will lead them to the restart zone one more time. The pace truck will pull in,
Green, green, green.
and Samuel Roberts will hit the gas. They will head into 1 and 2 and down the backstretch. The 77 finds that he is way at the back right now, have to contend with these lap cars as things get dicey. Up at the front, there's a 3-way battle for 2nd and 3rd, as Tommy Withers is going to put the bumper to him, and they're going to wreck across the finish line. But Samuel Roberts is going to collect the win. DP will be your 2nd place finisher, and Joshua Garrison will be your 3rd place finish. So Samuel Roberts battling back after an earlier caution to capture the win is huge, as they are wrecking each other after the flag. Some tempers for sure have flared after this race. Let's go ahead and get your top 3 in for an interview. We'll start with Joshua Garris. And actually, unfortunately, Joshua Garris doesn't appear to be... Oh. Hey, Dirt to Daytona, are you Joshua?
Yes, I am.
Alrighty, that's why I didn't know who you were. So Joshua, you battled all night and found yourself in the top 3 at the end. How does that feel?
Feels pretty good. It's been a long time since I've been able to actually be up front, contend for a top 3 spot. But I just managed to stay out of trouble all night long and kept it up front.
Yeah, it seemed to be the key for you. There were some early contenders that had some trouble, and they just fell way too far behind to even challenge you for the third spot. But it was getting a little dicey there. Were you a little worried you might lose it there in the last couple laps?
Yeah, I've been worried all race about that. There's some guys that were behind me that I knew were going to be not so patient, but it kind of worked out.
Well, all right. Congratulations on that third place finish.
Thank you.
Coming in at second is DP, who had a outstanding run tonight. DP, do you want to tell everybody about how you managed to get that thing into the second place position and hold it?
Well, the truck was really fast, and it helped that I didn't get involved in any of those wrecks. It was important to stay up front so that I didn't have that issue. And then it was just kind of try to stay consistent. I knew that you kind of had to pass on the bottom here. And so once I started to realize that you had to pass on the bottom, it was easy to guard the bottom. Samuel had the same idea. I felt like we raced together a lot tonight, and I just could not get past him because you could get runs on the exit if you ran the outside, but it didn't help you if you couldn't get to his quarters. So I'll take second place. It was rough there at the end, and then there was that last green-white checker, and I got really nervous, but it worked out. I hate finishing second. Finished second last week, too, so we'll try to come home with a win next time.
Well, better luck next week, but second place is definitely nothing to scoff at, so congratulations, brother.
Hey, thanks, buddy. We appreciate you.
And, of course, tonight's race winner, Samuel Roberts, in that 15. So, Samuel, you had an early caution where you were involved, then put your head down and just continued to dig for the rest of the race. And it paid off because you found your way to victory lane, sir. How does that feel?
It feels pretty good. I was just kind of patient the whole race, just kind of waited around, let everything play out, and luckily it played out for me. I hate it for everybody else that, got taken out of the race or whatever, but so far I had a good race, and it's my first ARCS win, so I'm pretty stoked about that.
Well, congratulations on your first win, Samuel. Did you have any concerns on that last restart that you might be challenged for that first place win?
Yeah, I mean, I was kind of worried about it. I knew DP was fast, but I thought I had it in the bag pretty good, so.
Right. Well, congratulations on your win, Samuel, and hopefully you can repeat next week.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
So, just to touch base again, that is the race podiums. Next week, we will have another outstanding race, hopefully, and we wish all the drivers better luck next week. This is Tyler signing off. Good night, everybody.